In March 2023, an innocuous file download inside a giant outsourcing firm triggered a breach that would expose sensitive data of millions and cost the company over £14 million in fines. What they didn't see coming was how long the attacker would lurk and how deep the damage would go. Capita is not some small firm. It's one of the UK's largest outsourcing and pension administration companies, managing data for government, companies, and pension schemes. When hackers broke in, they didn't just access names, they grabbed financial records, criminal records, and details so sensitive they're supposed to be under the tightest protection. The stakes: privacy destroyed, reputations ruined, trust shattered, and a regulatory reckoning that could set a precedent for how Britain handles cybercrime. It began on the 31st of March 2023, when Capita detected anomalous activity. But detection was only 10 minutes in, they failed to isolate the threat. Over the next 58 hours, attackers moved laterally across systems, extracting nearly a terabyte of data, deploying ransomware, and resetting credentials to lock staff out. Meanwhile, Capita's Security Operations Center, understaffed and underprepared, missed repeated alerts. By the time containment began, it was already too late. How did they do it? First, a single malicious file was downloaded, probably via phishing or supply chain vector. That gave attackers a foothold. They escalated privileges, exploited unpatched vulnerabilities, and moved laterally through Capita's network. They exfiltrated data stealthily, masked their tracks, and deployed ransomware to delay response. The data stolen: records from 325 pension schemes, personal identities, financial histories, even criminal records and special category data. And once inside, they reset passwords to lock out staff completely. This was no random hack. The attackers weren't after a quick payout, they went for breadth and depth. The motive appears data-driven, harvesting billions of records for resale in the dark web, identity fraud, even leverage in future attacks. Capita was the perfect target, a central hub in the UK's pension and outsourcing infrastructure. One breach touches thousands of organisations downstream. Meanwhile, regulators and oversight bodies were closing in. The ICO was watching. And Capita's missteps kept surfacing: unpatched vulnerabilities, ignored prior warnings, understaffed security teams, many of which contributed to deeper exposure. The deeper the attacker got, the more irreversible the damage. Fast forward to October 2025. The ICO slaps Capita with a £14 million fine, one of its largest in years. That amount once proposed was £45 million, but it was reduced after Capita made security reforms. But here's the twist: the data of 6.6 million people was exposed. Not just clients, but employees, pension holders, and people tied to public institutions. The ICO report found that had Capita acted faster, shutting down that compromised device within hours, patching known flaws, the breach could have been avoided. Even more shocking, Capita's oversight didn't begin in 2023. The ICO flagged prior vulnerabilities and weak incident response structures. Warnings went unheeded. The regulatory message is clear: no company, outsourcer or contractor is above accountability. Missed patches, ignored alerts, that's now punishable. This breach wasn't just about stolen files. It was a wake-up call for governments, pension systems, and the entire cyber industry. You can't outsource trust, only protect it. Capita's story proves that the weakest link, even a single device, can bring down entire infrastructures. So what should you take away? Invest in detection, staff your security ops, patch relentlessly, and treat your vendors as extensions of your perimeter. Subscribe, hit the bell, and never let another breach surprise you.